Hello, my name is Noah Dyer and I'm an anti-privacy activist. I'm asking for your contribution so that I can live a year of my life without even 1 second of privacy. If you remember the Truman Show, what I'm trying to do has been compared to that, except that I'll be in on it. You are probably afraid of eroding privacy, but I'd like you to consider the idea that a society without privacy would be way better than the one we currently live in. Information is power, and right now the flow of information is one way. It goes from you, the average person, up to corporations and governments. Individuals with access to this information wield tremendous power because they have complete information. If you had access to that information, you could make better decisions too. Not only that, but because the small group of elite people with access to this information are human, sometimes they make decisions with unintended negative consequences that affect millions of people, including you. And yes, sometimes those who form this information monopoly intentionally misuse their advantage to advance their personal agendas and hurt their enemies. If all information, including information that you now consider private, were publicly known, nearly every kind of crime could be eliminated. Abuses within families would be averted. Your political representatives would stop dealing with lobbyists and jockeying for power and would instead focus on solving problems and moving society forward. Put bluntly, the obstacle standing between you and this advanced society is your insistence on privacy. So long as you push to reclaim the personal privacies that are being trampled by government and big business, you will also never get those organizations to act transparently. The same logic that allows you to burp, fart, pig out, have an affair, or anything like that in the privacy of your own home allows your government officials to hold secret meetings where they can buy and sell votes and political favors. I know this is a radical idea, but I'm not asking you to agree with me based on what you've heard in the last couple minutes. I'm willing to go first, all by myself. If this project is funded, I will let you and everyone in the world see everything I do for 1 year. It will include the boring things like me eating, sleeping, brushing my teeth, etc. It will also include lots of things I hope that you will choose not to watch, like me going to the bathroom, showering, having sex, if I'm so lucky, and having personal conversations with my friends and loved ones. It will include all my communications, including phone calls, texts, email, Facebook messages, Twitter direct messages, etc. Again, while I consider most of these things either personal or not incredibly interesting, I'm changing the paradigm by asking you to choose to respect my personal space rather than claiming that I have the right to keep those things private. My promise is that I will not cut, blur, or otherwise edit such moments out of the feed. More importantly, the video stream will include several things that will be interesting to lots of different audiences. As a professor of game and mobile app programming, it's possible you could learn how to program just by watching my feed. I may also train for a mixed martial arts fight, and you could follow along with the workouts and diet. I may go bungee jumping and participate in other extreme sports. I may travel to exotic locations, which you could then learn about. And of course, the feed will include my musings on privacy and politics. In order to make this experiment possible, I need a big team, lots of equipment, and expensive hosting and streaming services. As such, none of the first $300,000 raised will be used by me for any personal expenses. And if I raise more than $300,000, I will be publicly accountable for every penny that is spent. If you're intrigued by this experiment, then making a contribution should be easy. But if the society that I'm proposing sounds horrible to you, or you think that my logic is flawed, I hope that you will still contribute to the campaign so that I can begin the experiment and thereby the process of being proved wrong. And lastly, you may just be curious about some of the more interesting things that the feed will contain. Again, your contribution will make sharing those things possible. Lastly, I hope that you'll share this campaign with your network via social media and also share your reactions with me in the comments.